Kate DiCamillo says reading should not be presented to a child as a chore, a duty. It should be offered as a gift. I think this is an important mindset to have as a teacher, and in order to achieve this, you must have a wide range of books available to students. It is important to look at what the research shows. And as seen in this chart, there is a big amount of inequality among books available to students. In middle-income families, books at home are about 199, and in a classroom, there are about 392 books. But in the lowest income families, there's only 0.4 books at home and 47 books in a library. The Reading Association strongly advocates for school library media centers and classroom libraries to provide books for all children. The research also shows us that higher achieving schools had more books than lower achieving schools, and that classrooms with a larger supply of books had kids who read more frequently. These kids were reading books that they could read successfully. So the big question is, why is this a problem? Well, having a wide range of books available to students promotes lifelong readers, which is our ultimate goal. And it does this by providing them with choice, which gets them engaged, and they have accessibility to books that they can and want to read. It also provides them with diverse books that they can see themselves in, and the amount of time spent reading accelerates their reading growth. And that's kind of outlined on the chart to the right. Having this wide range of books available to students promotes student choice. In this, students have options of what to read. They're able to select books that they're interested in. They're able to select a wide range of genres to read. And they're able to find books that are appropriate to their abilities as a reader. Why is this so important? Well, there's a number of reasons. Student choice empowers students. If we simply assign them a book, then they'll end up hating reading and they won't want to do it. We want students to make their own decisions so they feel important and empowered. And by valuing this choice, we show that we value the students. And in this, we're able to learn about our students through what they select and the books they're interested in. We can understand their dreams and beliefs through these as well. It also leads to meaningful conversations. We're able to have great conversations around books with our students, and they're able to show us their passions and explore what's interesting to them. It also establishes relationships among the student and teacher through conversations, and also among the students. Students can recommend books to one another, and also create a reading community in the classroom. This type of choice leads to independence and gives students experience with multiple genres. Why else is it important to provide students with choice in their book selections? Well, one study conducted at the University of Maryland found that students who were provided with choice improved their performance on their standardized tests. This also leads to scholastic achievement and helps them become better writers. When children choose what they want to read, they tend to want to write more. It also helps them take risks. Students are able to explore different genres and have the option of doing so. And it makes reading more authentic to them. We must be providing students with books that are accessible to them, not books that are too challenging, and books that they can read. We want to make sure that we're not giving them books that are at their frustration level, because that can lead to a bad attitude towards reading and negative experiences with reading. So providing them with books that are at their instructional level helps foster that academic achievement. When thinking about providing students with accessible books, this is a quote from Ellington that I really liked. It says, "Before they leave on vacation, few adults wander down to the nearest university library looking for thick, hard books on topics they don't care about. In fact, adults, including college-educated adults, generally avoid hard reading whenever possible." I think this is important to consider when we have our book selection and the choices available to students. We want to make sure that we're fostering a love for reading and not putting books in their hands that are too challenging. So the question remains, how many books should you have in your classroom? Well, there are varying stances on this. The International Reading Association recommends that classroom libraries start with at least 7 books per child and then purchase 2 additional each year. The Maryland State Department recommends that elementary schools provide a library media center containing a minimum of 20 titles per student, and each classroom collection should contain a minimum of 500 titles. And then Fontes and Pinnell says the optimal number of books in a classroom library should be 300 to 600, depending on the grade level and the number of copies for each title. They also say that first graders should expect to read about 100 to 125 picture books, and second graders and up should read about 50 to 75 chapter books in a school year. Classroom libraries should reflect diversity. Students need to be able to see themselves in books and learn about others in books. It's a powerful message for a student to be able to see themselves in books that they are reading, and it gets them more engaged in those books. Although we do not have a large variety of diverse books, we want to make sure that what is available out there is represented in our library. We want to make sure we have an extensive library and a variety of books available to the students that reflect their diversity. A great resource for diverse books is listed below in the website weneeddiversebooks.org. There is also a great TED Talk called The Danger of a Single Story that I recommend you watch. Overall, having a good book selection promotes student motivation and engagement. We want students to enjoy what they're reading. We want them to be engaged in what they're reading, and giving them a variety of books and letting them pick what they want to read allows them to do so. We're building and fostering a love for reading through this. To summarize, having a variety of books promotes choice and independence, lifelong readers, the ability for students to see themselves in books, interest and engagement, and reading growth in all areas.